So it's been 2 weeks since everything has happened, and I feel like I need to talk about my cousin, his life, his death, in order to process it. And so here I am. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start. I was trying to find like a quiet place to actually film this video. Y'all, my cousin is dead. And I just got chills from saying it. My cousin is dead. My cousin died at 43. He was 43 years old, 43 years old. I will be 41 this month. He would have been 44 next month. And I never imagined that I would be hurting like I am. Like, it's one of those things that you don't prepare for. You know, you can't prepare for this. And when you can't prepare for death, you go back and you say, I should have did this, I should have did that. So it's like I'm beating myself up because when I went to the hospital to see him, he was on a ventilator. And the last person that I saw that I loved that was on a ventilator was my uncle, my aunt's husband. And that's like the last image that I have in my head. And I was like, I never want to see anybody on a ventilator unless I have to see them on a ventilator. He was sedated on the ventilator, and I didn't go in to see him then because I felt like he was going to get better. So I was like, nah, you know, I'm not gonna go see him. You know, I'm here showing support. Once he gets better, then I'll go in. And it's like, I regret not going in. And even though, you know, he was sedated, I feel like he could have possibly heard me and just known I was in the room. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's like the thing that I keep beating myself about. Like, the time I went in the room, it was already no brain activity. It was like he was getting better. We thought he was getting better, getting a little better. And then that night, you know, his health just went down. My cousin had an aneurysm, which caused a stroke. And we thought he was gonna pull through. So I don't know. I feel lost and confused. My cousin was like this larger than life person where we're from in Daingerfield. So it not only affects the family, it affects the whole community. Like, the whole community is not going to be the same. When you think of Daingerfield, you think of Duke, you know, and he's not there. Like, he was good in sports. He was just like a nice guy, like a nice all-around person. He loved his family. He loved people. He wanted to be everybody's friends. He wanted everybody to like him, and he was a very likable person. And you can tell that from his homegoing ceremony, which I'm going to try to include some of the footage from the homegoing ceremony. But he was my cousin, but we grew up together like we were brother and sister. It was like me, him, and my granny. My granny passed when I was 13, but we still had each other. You know what I mean? But I would have never imagined my cousin passing, y'all. Do you like? It's like, I don't even know what to say. Where we grew up in the projects when we were little kids. It's called South Park. And so they did a balloon release for him on Friday. And when we turned the corner to go down the street to where the balloon release was, I saw all those cars. It was people everywhere. I just lost it. It felt like my heart sank. My heart sank. It was heavy, and I just couldn't take it. I just remember getting out the car and just going right into my auntie's house, and I was like, this is too much. It's like when we were driving down the street, just like flash after flash after flash of like all our childhood memories just started like coming in my head. I could just see me, him, and granny, like me and him, me and him, me and him as kids, you know, the stuff that we did as kids. And oh my God, just even now my heart got so heavy. And I'm like, South Park is where it started. Like, that was the beginning, and he's dead, and this is the end, and here we are doing the balloon release. And that just took me out, like literally took me out. And so I'm having a hard time processing his death. I feel like his death has made me question, let me not say question, let me say reevaluate my life and the things that, you know, I'm doing. It's like I want to be happy. I want to spend time with my kids. You know, I'm like a person that like tries to do, you know, everything right to the T. And it's like I'm doing all these things trying to be perfect right to the T, and what if it's all for naught? You know, if I'm not enjoying the fruits of my labor because I'm trying to save, or I'm trying to make sure every situation is perfect before I make the next step. It's like your life isn't promised. Anything could happen. And, you know, people keep saying, oh, he's in a better place. He's in a better place. How do we know he's in a better place? You know, God makes no mistake. I know God makes no mistakes, but I feel like in situations like this, you still question God, even though it's not right. It's like I am continuing to pray for an understanding that I know I may never get. I do not understand this. I don't understand it. My granny was like the foundation to our family. So when she passed, my mama took over the responsibility of being the foundation. But my cousin was like the heart and soul of the family. Like, stuff didn't really pop off until he got there. You know what I mean? And I'm not much of like a person at parties or anything like that. So when I go home to Daingerfield, I'm home. Like, I'm in the house. I'm probably there because I want to go to sleep. I need a break. So I don't do anything. But I feel like even though I don't do anything and I don't hang out, he would still come by the house and holler at me. Or I could hear, you know, some bumping, some music, and like, oh, okay, this Duke pulling up, you know, to say hey. And it's like, we don't have that anymore. So when all the dust settles, you know, everybody else, they go back to their normal lives. But for us, it's like a big, huge void that will never be filled. And again, I'm just having a hard time processing it. And I feel like it's been 2 weeks, and I wanted to come on here and talk about it because I feel like if I talk about it, then hopefully it will help me with the healing process. You know, I've had a lot of people send me stuff, and I'm open to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like suggestions on how to handle death. We haven't had a close death in the family in a while, but this one, again, my cousin was only 43, and when you don't have a chance to say goodbye, it bothers you. You know, a person can be here one day and gone the next, and that really bothers me because I wish we had more time with him, you know. I did a farewell tribute of something that I wrote, you know, just about our life together growing up and some of the fondest memories I have of us, and I'll put it on Facebook, so I'll leave the link so y'all can go back and read it. But yeah, so I know that life has to go on. You know, I have a husband, I have kids. That I have to take care of, but it's hard, and I'm just asking for prayer to get through this difficult time. I am. Once I, you know, get in a better place, which I'm hoping is right around the corner, then I can kind of get back in the swing of things. I have to go back to work, scheduled to go back to work next Friday, but I think I'm gonna push it back a couple of days. Cam starts school on the 16th, so it's like I have to snap out of it. You know what I mean? When I knew my cousin had passed, and I feel like seeing him in the hospital was a different experience than actually seeing him at the viewing of the body. You know, I thought I was just gonna run in and run out, like, okay, let me go here and see him, and then I can bounce. And when I saw him in the casket, when you know someone's dead, it's one thing, but when you see them in a casket, it just hit different. And when I saw my cousin in that casket, I lost it. I literally lost it. And then he had like a picture of my granny, like a necklace with her picture in it around his neck. I lost it. like all these memories, you know, and people keep saying it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, but is it gonna be okay? I just feel like right now I'm angry, right now I'm sad, right now I'm confused. So I know all the right things to say, I know all the right things to do, but it's just hard to do those right now. So I wanted to do this video because my YouTube channel is my YouTube channel, and it's a reflection of me and the things that are important to me. And my cousin was important to me. He was like a brother to me, and I want to remember him that way. And so I wanted to, you know, talk about him and try to heal myself, because I need to. I'm in like a slump, and I definitely need to get out of it. And I also wanted to share what a beautiful, like, y'all, it was so many people at his funeral. It was such a big event in my town that they what is it called? They streamed it live. After the funeral was over. It already had 11,000 views. There were people everywhere. Like I said, we did a balloon release. We did a fireworks show. After the ceremony was in our high school auditorium, because that's the only place we have in Daingerfield that's big enough to hold a lot of people. After the funeral, he had a horse and carriage ride to the gravesite. So there's this street called Mac where I'm from. It's like the most popular street in Daingerfield. Like, everybody hang out on Mac. And so my cousin would, you know, hang out on Mac. And so he wanted to go down Mac one last time. And y'all, I just had, it reminded me of Biggie when they took him, when they took him down, took him to Brooklyn before he went, and, you know, to his gravesite or whatever. It reminded me of that. It was like a parade. It was people outside standing out, watching my cousin on the back of this horse and carriage go down the street. And I was just like, wow. Like, I never imagined being a kid growing up with somebody who would be this larger than life figure. I would have never imagined that. You know what I mean? I wanted to share this with you guys, like I said, for healing, but also because he's a part of me. You know what I mean? He's a part of our family, and he will be greatly missed. So I'm gonna insert some clips to like his ceremony and everything. And again, I'm just asking y'all to please pray for me, because I'm not where I should be. I know everyone's saying you'll never get over it, you'll just get through it, and I'm trying to get through it. I really am. I'm trying to get through it. So just keep me in your prayers.